Hey, in today's video, I'm going to tell a story of what took place from February 22nd, 2021 to February 24th. To the average eye, those dates are absolutely meaningless, but that time period might have been the most insane few days in the Minecraft speedrunning community ever. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. To start off, I have to take you back to January 29th. Kuriway had the world record with his 14:36 time, and it had been on top for almost 3 months at that point. On this particular day though, Raynex was getting some crazy good runs. The first one was ahead of world record pace in the end enter with a bad dragon perch, which he finished with a time of 15 minutes and 9 seconds. An hour later, he did the impossible. He had dethroned Kuriway with a time of 14 minutes and 10 seconds. 2 weeks after this, on February 14th, a player named Xylonox finished the game a few seconds faster than Raynex, but he had made a mistake. You see, he had paused to do math. At the time, the mod team saw this as unfair, and since the times were so close to each other, they got retimed to 14 minutes and 7 seconds and held the crown together. Well, about 8 days later, on February 22nd, Illumina was doing runs on his no mic Twitch account, and for one of the first runs of the day, he chose to break the world record, and this taught the entire Minecraft speedrun community to never sleep on Illumina. He had been speedrunning the game for a super long time and has held multiple world records along the way. This particular run went down as follows. He spawned near a village, grabbed some beds, and then realized that there was something very special about this particular village. It had 2 blacksmith chests. The first one gave him an iron pickaxe and 6 obsidian. The second one gave him 3 more obsidian and an iron sword. In order to enter the nether, he needed 2 more things though, a bucket and a flint and steel. A bucket cost 3 iron ingots to make and a flint and steel cost 1. There was only one other quick way to get iron in the village though, and that was through the iron golem. The catch is that it can drop anywhere from 3 to 5 ingots. 3 wasn't a good option, so there was only a 66% chance of him reliably entering the nether soon. Luckily, he got 4 and crafted the 2 items. With 3 minutes on the timer, he entered the nether and his spawn was absolutely terrible. Out of every biome to spawn in, basalt is definitely the worst for a multitude of reasons, including movement and the fact that bastions can't spawn there. One other thing that I didn't mention is that Illumina is a no F3 runner, meaning that he has no way of knowing if there is even a bastion within 16 chunks of him. After a bit of running, he did find a fortress though, and decided to play the fortress first. The main risk involved with that is that you have no fire resistance. Illumina don't need no fire resistance though, because he's an absolutely insane player. After killing enough blazes to get 6 rods, he just needed a bastion. Fortunately, it didn't take him too long to find one, and it was a treasure. He did get quite unlucky with this bastion, because there was hardly any gold. He did get pretty lucky with his trades though, giving him a bunch of pearls and enough obsidian. After he built a portal and went into the overworld, he came to a bit of a realization. His blind travel distance was absolutely awful. To rub some salt in the wound, so was the terrain that he had to traverse, with him going through forests and mountains until he eventually reached the ocean. Fortunately, the ocean was massive and went on until he found an ocean exposed portal room. He was in the end at 12 minutes and 30 seconds, and the world record was going to be a really close call. He needed the dragon to perch pretty quickly. After towering above one of the obsidian pillars, he saw the snap that indicated the perch and pearl down there. With no hitboxes shown due to no F3 and 5 beds later, he landed the 1 cycle and got a brand new world record. 13 minutes and 53 seconds was his time, and it was the first ever sub 14. On October 2nd, 2020, Corbanos became the first player to ever break the 15-minute barrier. Now, on February 22nd, the 14-minute barrier had been broken, and the Minecraft speedrun community rejoiced because it had been done by the GOAT himself, Illumina. It was unknown how long this world record would stand, but soon we would get our answer. The player that gave us the answer had not 1, not 3, but 13 letters in his name, and before I get into what he did, let's travel back a bit in time. On February 18th, 2-letter name had just gotten his 4th sub 16-minute run. Yeah, sub 16s are cool, but when you get 4 of them, it starts to get a bit redundant. He was just aching for that sub 15 and it would come on February 23rd. He didn't just get a sub 15 though. You see, he potentially got the new world record the day after Illumina had said it. The description of the video also read, muted because I was watching Illumina at the time on my second monitor. Coincidence? Yes. Now let's break down this run. He spawned on an island and almost immediately saw some dolphins. Since the island had no trees, those were his ticket to fast ocean travel. Soon enough, he stumbled upon a shipwreck which gave him 9 iron ingots. Another chest had a map to a buried treasure and it was close. He used the wood from the ship to get sticks and crafted an iron axe, shovel, and pickaxe along with a boat and some doors. The buried treasure that he found had iron, gold, and some cooked fish to eat. After traveling a bit on his boat, he was able to find a magma ravine and used it to build a nether portal. His nether spawn was perfect. He was in the bottom of a housing bastion, and all he needed to do to aggro piglins was break the chest and run toward where the gold blocks were. This is known as the manhunt route and is one of the fastest possible bastion routes. After trading the gold, he got a lot of string and ender pearls, but was lacking in the fire resistance and obsidian department. He had one potion, but it is always safer to carry around at least 2. Unfortunately, with obsidian, you can't leave with less than 10, and he was waiting on that 10th while he had everything else he needed. Once he got it, he exited the bastion and started searching for a fortress. After looking around a bit, it appeared that nothing was close, but soon enough, he barely spotted one. After running around the fortress for a bit, in some absolutely absurd turn of events, he got 6 random blaze spawns. Now it's not uncommon for blazes to spawn randomly in a fortress, but getting 6 of them is absurd. After killing all 6, he had 4 blaze rods in his inventory and only needed 2 more. A bit later, he ran into a group of 3 stray blazes, but unfortunately, only one of them dropped. Soon enough, he managed to find a blaze spawner, and when he approached it, 1 blaze spawned, and it dropped. He built a nether portal right next to the blaze spawner, but to be safe, he waited for 1 more wave of spawns in order to leave on 7 rods instead of 6. Unfortunately, only 1 spawned, and it didn't drop. This was his cue to just leave on 6. In the overworld, when he threw his first eye, it took him inland toward a desert. After running across it for a bit, he threw another eye and noticed a slight angle change. This eye broke, so he now needed 1 eye in the end portal. After following the eye for about 2 minutes, he managed to locate the exact chunk with triangulation and was digging down at 12 minutes. Once in the stronghold, it took him a very short amount of time to find the portal room, and it had 4 eyes in it. He was in the end at 12 minutes and 45 seconds, 15 seconds behind Illumina's pace, but a quick perch could land him the world record. Now, the perch was quick, but almost too quick. 2-letter name got to the bedrock fountain just in time to start the 1 cycle. 5 beds and 4 axe hits later, he finished the run with an in-game time of 13 minutes and 52 seconds, just barely faster than Illumina. After multiple people setting world records that took a while to beat, it was a shock that when one of the best and most well-known speedrunners in the game got the world record, it lasted for less than a day. 2-letter name, knowing that he had the world record, but also knowing that it was very vulnerable to getting beaten, continued the grind the next day, right where he left off. What unfolded on February 24th was not just a shock, but absolutely unheard of in Minecraft speedrunning up to that point. The same player had broken the world record a second time in 2 days, and this time he didn't have to worry as much about it being beaten soon. The run went as follows. He spawned in a plains biome next to the ocean and quickly made his way to a tree. After getting wood, he took a dolphin to quickly travel to a shipwreck. The shipwreck not only had 8 iron, but a nearby buried treasure. After following the map, he got a bunch more iron, 7 gold, and 7 fish. After traveling back to the shipwreck for wood, he crafted iron tools and a bucket. Something that I didn't mention is that on the way to the shipwreck, he found a magma ravine, so he just traveled back to where it was. After mining some gravel for flint, he was set to enter. 1 nether portal later, and he was in the nether. The first thing that he saw was a treasure bastion, then turned around and saw a fortress. After crafting a gold helmet, he entered the treasure and routed it. Fortunately for 2-letter name, unlike Illumina's 1353, this treasure bastion had a decent amount of gold. Unfortunately for 2-letter name, these piglins hated fire. In fact, they hated it so much that they traded him 7 fire resistance potions before even giving him 3 pearl trades. Eventually, he got the 3rd pearl trade and was off to the fortress soon after. One thing that he didn't account for is that the direction that he pearled into took him right next to a blaze spawner, saving all the time it usually takes to rout a fortress. His blaze drops were very good, going 6 for 8, and at low 9 minutes he set up his portal and blind traveled. The angle of his first eye throw was 35.3 degrees, and after he traveled forward a bit and pearled to the side, he threw another eye to see how far the stronghold was. The angle changed 26 degrees, and this little mouse shake is probably around the time when his heart rate started picking up. One slight issue though, he didn't have enough string from the bastion to make 4 beds. Fortunately, he was in a savanna biome and didn't have to go too far out of his way to shear some sheep. After triangulating the stronghold and panic throwing an eye to be sure that he was in the right chunk, he started digging down. Since that eye broke, he now needed a 1-eye ender portal. After entering the stronghold, he almost immediately found the portal room, and it was one eye. He was in the end at 11 minutes and 20 seconds, and all he needed was a perch to improve his world record. What he wasn't expecting was for the dragon to snap almost right after he crafted his beds. All he had to do was hit the one cycle, and 5 beds later, the dragon was gone, and he had finished the game in 12 minutes and 12 seconds. After multiple months of players trying to break the sub 14 barrier, 2 days after it was broken, sub 13 was already achieved. To this day, 2-letter names 1212 is one of the most viewed Minecraft speedrunning world records with over 1.1 million of them on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.